We are live and in love. Here we go.
Okay, so how are we winning in today's competitive markets? It's such a tough market, especially for buyers. And today we have one of our very own, Danny Rafeh. Danny's been in the business for 2 years. He's been with the Rafeh Group for 2 years.
Yep.
And I'm super excited to have him on the show today so he can share with you how he's winning in today's market, how he's putting his clients in escrow, and how he's getting his offers accepted. Danny, thank you for joining me this morning.
Thank you so much for having me. You never talk to me through the week, so I'm really excited to be talking to you.
This is the first time we talk.
I'm like so excited. I had to dress nice and everything. It's perfect.
Well, you look amazing.
Thank you.
Okay, so Danny, you want to give a little bit of introduction about who you are and what you do and all that good stuff?
Of course, guys. I'm Danny with the Rafeh Group. I have been in real estate as, I don't know if you said it, Rima, but for about 2 years now, and I've been under the supervision of Rima. So it's been a roller coaster, not the market, just working with her, you know. So it's been great in a great way, has definitely helped me grow and build me into the agent that I am today and the agent that I am becoming. So I'm really excited to be a part of this team, and it's been a blessing for me. I've worked around such great people as Vic, Edwin, Andrew, our photographer, and Jamie, our TC. I learned from all of them, and it's been amazing. It's been amazing so far. So
nice. Well, thank you. Being in this market, being in such a competitive market, especially your niche is working with buyers mostly.
That's right.
What is tell me a little bit about how your crazy day looks like in general, especially when you're showing so much and there's so much going on in the buyer's end in today's market, and it takes so much for us to get an offer accepted. So first of all, I would like you to share with us, how is your day, your typical day looks like,
right,
in your own personal world and in the business world as a real estate agent?
All right. Right now, I have no life but real estate, so I have no personal life right now. But pretty much, I'd wake up. We start our meeting in the morning, which is usually around 8:55. You know, we hop on the team meeting, as you know, and then after that, since I specifically only work with buyers, my day throughout is pretty much servicing the buyers that I have in escrow currently with the support of my TC, and also supporting my buyers who need to find a property. So I do my best to try to take on as many buyers as possible because they're so active and they understand the market. So throughout the day, I'm pretty much scheduling appointments, talking to other agents, following up on my escrows, making sure that everything's going clear with them, and just doing my best to separate one client from another, you know, making sure I have time for everybody throughout the day. And then if I have a chance, I'll try to eat through the day sometimes. And that's about it. So
that's a good way to go on a diet.
Yeah, exactly. I've lost 5 pounds since 2 weeks ago. Since I opened those 5 escrows, my weight's been going down, and not by choice. So
and we will get to the 5 escrows in a minute.
Yes.
But how would you say you're winning in today's market? Again, we are in such a competitive market. We all know there is not many listings on the market. So there is not much to show. The buyers do not have that many options to choose from. And if they do, so many other buyers, not just your buyers, have the same interest, and they're going to be placing offers on that particular property that you're showing. So how would you say Danny Rafeh is winning today in this competitive market?
Well, to start on the agent side, the number one thing is for me as an agent or whoever the client is working with, that agent needs to understand that you need to be active 7 days a week. There are no days off in this market. That's number one. So to get a winning offer, you have to understand it off the bat, especially if you're just strictly working with buyers. You know, they're going to want to view properties Monday through Sunday. It does not matter. If you miss one day, that's the day where you could have missed your shot on writing an offer on that property, right? But my number one thing with buyers, and the most important part of the process to me is the buyer's consultation. When I first introduce myself to a buyer, what I usually take them through is what the market is looking like and what they are going to expect entering into this market. Because Rima, as you know, you've been in the business much longer than me, but this is not a normal market based off what you've seen and what you've told me, right? So my first job is to have the client understand that you're entering into a market where you're going to be competing against multiple offers. That's the number one thing. Number two, do not expect the deal in this specific market. It's not going to happen. If you're going to sit there and try to find a deal, it's just not the nature of it. So I'd rather put all the expectations in front of them. So by the time we go out, there are no surprises. There are no surprises when I call the agent and ask them, hey, how many offers do you have? Do my due diligence, reaching out to that agent, understanding how many offers they have, what the seller's looking for. I come back with that information to my buyer. They already know that, hey, if a property is listed at 400,000, 900,000, whatever it is, be prepared to go 5, 10, 20, maybe even $50,000 above asking price. So when it comes down to the buyer's consultation, that's the number one thing I help them understand. But once I have their commitment, now it's on me to go out, find them a property, and get that property approved with their offer. We're going to win some, we're going to lose some. I help them understand that. So on every time we write an offer, the first thing I tell them is after we submit it, let's go view another property tomorrow. I try to make them forget about the offer we just submitted. That's
so you basically set the expectation, you kind of educate them exactly what's going on in the market. Exactly. You make sure that their heart is not only set on that one property that because they might lose it. Right. And you keep the options open to keep looking for other properties, while you're still working with them, even if you have offers out. That's what my understanding.
Exactly. A lot of these clients I didn't meet. I've been working with a few of them for the last few months, so it took me some time, but they were persistent just because they understood the market by the time they went out and started viewing properties. And that's what's really helped me. So, and that's my goal, obviously, moving forward, is every single client coming on the market, whether in the rush or not, I help them understand where we're at right now. Some buyers might want to wait. Some buyers want to take advantage of this low interest rate. We're always here to service them, but I always tell them, we don't know what to expect in the future, right? So the most important thing is setting the expectation for your client, because I'm here to help. I'm not here to push them into any property. So like I mentioned, a lot of these clients I've worked with for the last 3-4 months, and then recently we got a few offers accepted and they were excited. I was excited, and we just stay persistent and we just continue to move forward.
There's, we hear so many frustrations on especially on the buyer's side right now. Right. And, when we take the calls from buyers, they're frustrated. They've been looking for a while and they've just they changed multiple agents along the way. Right. And what makes you stand out? Is it the consistency with your buyers? Is it just, staying, when you get that buyer's consultation and that they're ready to go and they're willing to do everything and anything to get that offer accepted? Is that when it's the go time for you and your client?
Yeah, so I did actually run into a situation recently, which we also have the client in escrow. The client was working with a family friend who's an agent, but the family friend wasn't available 7 days a week. So what really, separated me is the fact that I understood the market by the time they called me. I told them that we need to be more active, and usually the buyer is more active than the agent based off what I've seen, and it shouldn't be that way. It should be the agent being more active for the buyer. You see what I'm saying? And that's what we always talk about. If you've seen, and if you guys have seen out there in some of our old videos, we talk about reactive and proactive agents. And in this market, you have to be 100% proactive. So even if the client is not pre-approved, not ready, but they're ready to, not pre-approved, but ready to purchase, first step we're going to do is hook them up with one of our lenders and get them moving over to the next process. So we try to show them the urgency, and buyers really, really appreciate that in this market. Plus the knowledge that we have, that's how you gain trust, and you help them understand that, once again, you're not in here to push them into any home because it is the biggest transaction of their life, but also set the expectation that, hey, we might not find the perfect home, But the home that we could turn from a B to an A, what Rima used to always teach me is, if you find an A property, you're ready to write an offer. B, you could turn it into an A, just needs a little bit of work. C, get me the heck out of here. I let them know that, hey, even if we find a B property, be ready to write an offer. If you guys understand that you could turn it into an A property. So some of those expectations have really, really helped me out in this market. So
awesome. We hear so many agents that they are frustrated again to work with buyers.
yeah.
So what you did, Danny, from when everybody was looking the other way and I don't want to work with buyers, actually you stepped 100% in and you said, I want to take as many buyers as I can service because I want to put my clients in escrow.
100%.
So how did you place your buyers 5 escrows within 30 days?
Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
Thank
We
you.
hear like, good job.
Proud.
So how, I mean, we know there is the coronavirus addendum.
Right.
Sellers are asking for the approval letter, setting the appointments, doing all that and dealing with so many buyers in between.
Mhm.
Sometimes you can lose your mind.
I did.
So,
Right now.
so how did you put 5 buyers in this amazingly competitive market in escrow within 3 days? It's 30 days, sorry.
All right. So how did I do it?
It would be nice to put them in 3 days.
That would have been really nice. That would have been really, really nice.
We're working on that.
That would have been really nice. Well, one of the things I did was I would go over to the seller's house, knock on the door, and force them to accept our. No, I'm just kidding. No, pretty much what I would do is during my buyer's consultation in this market, one of the things I help them understand that sellers find really appealing is the appraisal. Okay. So one of the things that's really gave me good feedback from listing agents, they always said, we like this part of the offer, right? Besides the fact that your client is also very well, pre-approved, they look good on paper. Buyers have to understand that you're most likely going to overpay. You're going to be going above market value in this market. So one of the things I help them understand, I say, hey, listen, because it doesn't matter how high you write the offer. If a property is listed at 400,000, you write it at 440, it still has to appraise. So one of the things that I include in my offer is, a buyer is willing to pay over a certain amount if the property does not appraise. So as a seller, when they receive that offer, they're going to understand that, hey, there's a chance I might not get 450, and since we only listed it for 400, there's a chance I might not get 450 even though this buyer offered 450. But if it doesn't appraise, let's say it appraises at 405, this specific buyer is willing to pay this much amount above the asking price, above the appraisal price. So I help my buyers understand that hey, be ready to pull a little bit more cash out of pocket, especially if you love the home. I want you to be in love with this home. So by the time we go out and find that property and they love it, they understand already what they have to do. So that's been one of my little tricks that I've done. It's not really a trick. A lot of agents know it. But what, like I said, once again, I go back to my buyer's consultation, which has really, really helped me in this market. So by the time I'm going out looking at these properties, they're going to look at the contract and everything we discussed is already on there. From the deposit to the home inspection contingency to the appraisal contingency to the loan contingency, it's all on there already. So
nice. I know you're so passionate about your clients. You always coming from place of contribution and you really, really care. I see it with your daily activity, with your passion when you go into escrow, with your passion once before even you go into escrow, how eager you are to help our buyers and place them in the best home possible that they're going to be happy with, throughout the lifetime that they're going to be living there. What would you say is the biggest challenge right now with buyers beside, getting their offers accepted, that we all know it's a big challenge that, sadly we cannot avoid right now. We just have to deal with it and push through it and do everything possible to get our buyers into homes. But other than that, what would you say it's the biggest challenge that you're seeing on a regular basis with your buyers that you're working with? Is it the motivation? Is it the lack of funds? Like, what would you say would be the biggest one, since you do work with buyers on a regular basis?
Well, first and foremost, it's definitely the discouragement sometimes. There's buyers you write 3, 4 offers for, and they don't get accepted, and you start hearing it in their voice. They start kind of losing hope. I'm not just an agent sometimes, I'm also a friend as well, and I help them understand that, hey, this is very normal. You're not the only buyer going through this. I work with other buyers. Our team works with other buyers that have been looking for longer than you. It's just the nature of the market. We're going to get the right property at the right time. And then you want to help them understand that, and like I said, once it goes back to the buyer's consultation, I always tell them, we're not going to probably get the first 3, first 4, first 5. Are you ready to enter into this market? Because there's other offers we just possibly cannot compete with. We do our best to stand out with other agents when we reach out to them, and I help them understand that. But communication is key. I always keep them updated, so they really appreciate that. And the fact that, going through the market, sometimes they just really get discouraged. So you really want to help them. So that's a big, big challenge. And, also another challenge is always at the beginning, when you start helping them understand the market. They're looking for a property with 400 grand, in Santa Clarita, and you got to tell them, 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom. Unfortunately, that just does not exist right now. 400,000 or whatever it is. So that's pretty much one of those challenges. But once you set that expectation, everything does tend to go smoothly.
Okay, I have a question here from Vic that hopped in my screen. Who do you like more?
Good old
Vic or Rima? Who do you like more, Vic or Rima?
Right now, Rima.
Question to answer, I guess.
right now,
Live
Rima.
with me, so you have to love me.
Embarrassing questions.
And what would you say challenges, outside factors that are becoming an issue or a challenge right now, whether it's appraisal or loans, or what would you say other factors, outside factors other than the buyers, that they can't control?
Something that a buyer can control, and I always tell them this: make sure you're interviewing with the right lender that fits you, right? Sometimes buyers don't understand that when you go into this market, a lender can actually ruin a deal for you, right? If they're not communicative, they're not being responsive with me or the listing agent. Sometimes when they reach out to cross qualify, you can lose those deals, or you could lose your strong offers just because the lender is not being so responsive. We understand lenders are super busy. We totally get that. And we prefer a lender we don't need to reach out to that much. They're already on it. They're responding to emails right away, or whenever they get a chance. They're being really responsive. So that's one of the things buyers can actually control, right? Because a buyer obviously has a right to choose any lender they want to work with. But I always tell them, even if it's our lender that you first interview, and they continue to ask about interest rates, I still tell them, if you have a chance, if you know of any other lender, make sure you have the best deal. Make sure you're getting the best rate, and not just the best rate. Make sure you're also getting a lender that you connect with, that you can call. They can pick up the phone. They text you back pretty quick. I've worked with some phenomenal lenders. I'm actually working with a couple right now, and I'm also working with lenders who are not so great. So it's like, they need to understand that, and I try to help them to understand that. But that's something definitely in the buyer's control, that once they're ready to go out and start looking for a property, they definitely need to interview at least a few lenders, just the same way I always recommend them to interview a few agents. Don't just go with me. Let me show you my value. Let our team show you our value and what we do differently than others.
Awesome. And where do you see Danny going 1 year, 2 years from now, 5 years from now? I know you're passionate about being a buyer's agent. Where do you see yourself going with, of course, we all want to grow and get to different places.
Right.
And I always say it's big steps. So you took that big step with your buyers, on your buyer's side, and you're doing an amazing job. So where would you say, like, you want to expand on or see yourself doing in the near future?
Well, I don't know if you guys all know this, but I am a bit TikTok famous right now. So in the next 5 years, I'm just going to be growing that platform. Rima, this is my last year with you, so be prepared for that. It's a lot of traction over there. Go follow me on TikTok.
And you do have a big followers on TikTok.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about that, by the way, because you like, this is off the subject, but I know you have like what, 120, 130, how many you have now on TikTok?
Not that much, but it's getting there. 107,000 right now.
How many?
107.
107,000. Wow. And
within a matter of about a year.
About a year. And
Yep.
what's your TikTok is all about?
It's pretty much me dressing up as a woman, making fun of myself, making fun of my family, different scenarios that people can relate to. And I'm very, very passionate about comedy. Obviously, as you guys can see just by the look of me, my hair's not done today. So I'm a goofball, and I just love to have a good time. I always love to laugh. I love to make people laugh, and that's one of my biggest passions.
And probably that's why people get so attracted to you, because you have that sense of humor and you're so natural. Like, you attracted 107,000 viewers for your TikTok. So I'm only surprised why buyers love to work with Danny.
That's okay. Huh?
What is your TikTok name? Or, I mean, I'm not a TikTok fan, so I have no idea what TikTok.
You look up Danny Rafeh, you'll find me.
Danny. And do you talk real estate on your TikTok?
I do not, actually. No, I do not. I do not talk real estate on my TikTok.
So we have to work on that.
I know. You can give me a hard time out there, guys. Talk real estate.
Danny, what got you in real estate to begin with? Since you are funny, you like comedy shows, like, why real estate?
Well, let's see. My dad's a realtor. My Uncle Sam's a realtor. My other Uncle Sam's a realtor. Rima's a realtor. My cousin Mark's a realtor. I think you guys kind of know where I'm going with this. It's my cousin Rami's a realtor. Amir is a realtor. It's the whole family's pretty much in real estate. So I saw all of them, doing big things. And I was never really passionate about it, ever. I never wanted to get into it. I had a good job before real estate. And after real estate, I decided to, after my last job, I decided to take a risk. I felt like real estate could be something I'd love to try, and, I could connect with people, and I wanted to give it a shot, but when I first got into it, it just wasn't what I expected, so it helped me really, really grow into a whole different person. But pretty much I was influenced by it. It was all around me. I saw what you were doing, what others were doing, and I told myself, you know what, why can't I do that? So I gave it a shot. And there was a few times, guys, I will tell you, I was ready to pull the plug on my career. I was just like, this is not what it seems like. People watch these shows and they look on YouTube and they see these guys who are just killing it, and they don't. And the first book I read was Ryan Serhant's book when I first got into it, and it's true. It's a struggle, and believe it or not, one of my cousins actually told me, Mark, he's in real estate. He said, when you get into this business, be prepared to not make money for up to 2-3 years. And that reality hit me, and I said, okay, I got to prep for that. I think I can make it faster, but it was true. It was true. It took me some time. It takes some time, guys.
It did not take you 2 years, Danny.
2 years, but it took me a bit of time. And you know what? Even the first 3-4 months, you understand, you're learning, you're doing things, but when things aren't happening, you're just ready to give up. You're just ready to give up. And, some things happen fast for others. Vic crushed it his first year, and I was his partner. I was seeing him do it. I'm like, wow, this guy's growing, and I'm not. What am I doing wrong? What's going on? And just everyone has their own time. Everyone just has their own time. And you have to understand that with anything that you're passionate about, you love to do, things are going to fall into place. I mean, even with my comedy stuff on the side, it took me some time to grow that following base. It wasn't just, I did one video and it just happened that way. You just got to stay consistent. And I think that's what's helped me in this crazy market is the consistency.
And that's what the word that I was gonna get to is consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and you always said something, and you always share it with the team too, that don't be attached to the outcome.
Oh.
Do what you do on a daily basis.
Yes.
Give it your 100%, and by the end of the day, when you go home, you know that you had a successful day, no matter what that outcome
100%.
Was from that day. And that's something that I really admire about you, because you taught us all here on the Rafeh group, like, do not get attached to the outcome. And you are, you know, big example. You lead by example of doing that. And that's, I think, what got you to where you're at today, the consistency, not getting attached, not having your emotions, all your emotions in of what the outcome is going to look like. And the outcome is looking amazing to you. I congratulate you for an amazing first quarter so far. You just like, you wowed all of us. And it's hard work. It's a lot of hard work. I know you work super, super hard. I know you're working 7 days a week right now, but you're always, always there for our buyers. You're always there for our clients. And you want to make sure they're very well taken care of. You want to make sure that they're in the best hand possible and they're getting the best property that they like, they're going to enjoy. And you're in it from, even I myself, it's like, you know, step back a little bit because, you know, leverage yourself in some of the stuff that goes into escrow, but you are determined to be fully engaged, fully hands-on, and knowing every single step of what's going on with your transactions, with your buyers, and you communicate so well. Again, congratulations, Danny. I mean, I'm so, so proud of you. And what would you say you enjoy the most right now, since you are working 7 days a week? What's life is all about? I know you have a new girl in your life, but it's kind of long distance relationship, so kind of hard.
I'm watching this.
She is watching this. I'm putting you on your spot here.
You better be watching this. Yeah, it's you know what? I was thinking about this the other day, and I've never taken on this many escrows at once. And I got to tell people out there, you never make it alone. You know, you truly never make it alone, because the higher you go, the more things that are going to occur, experiences you've never been through. So first and foremost, obviously, I want to give a huge shout out to my team. Like my biggest supporters while I'm in the transaction is obviously yourself and Jamie, our TC, who's absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I run into issues and they overcome it for me, you know, so, but it's all a learning lesson. And it's like that with everything else, you know, even in my personal life, I have support of, you know, finding a good nutrition plan from someone else. In my TikToks, people help me with that. My girl's super supportive. I mean, she definitely understands. We'll be talking for a bit on the phone for like, I'll call her 30 seconds later. I got a call. Hey, babe, I got to go. Fine, just go. Like, she definitely understands, you know, she doesn't give me a hard time. I know it could be frustrating, but she's definitely hanging on that roller coaster ride with me. She's sitting right next to me with it. So you truly have to have a good environment around you to help you shine and grow, because you can't do it on your own. You're always going to need someone to add another step to that ladder so you can get to the top, you know? So that's been the biggest blessing for me. It hasn't been what I can do, in the fact that I just believed in myself. It's also been the people around me, you know, from you to Jamie to Vic to Edwin to Andrew to everybody, even my family, my mom, my dad, just everybody. You know, I could go off. Everyone had their own impact on my life that's helped me become the man that I am, and also the agent that I am as well. So,
well, we love you. We appreciate you.
Too.
And we are lucky to have you, honey.
I'm lucky to have you guys. Shout out to everyone out there watching. Love you all.
How many buyers you're working with right now? Active buyers, Danny, before we go?
Right now, with 5 escrows, I fired all of them. I can't handle this anymore.
You see this for a second, we're live, for God's sake.
I can't. Right now, I am working with 5 active buyers, actually.
5 active buyers.
From Palmdale to the Valley, all the way to Camarillo.
Awesome, awesome. Well, Danny, thank you so much for being with us today. Keep shining, keep growing. We love having you here. Thank you so much for taking this Friday morning with us, and have an amazing weekend.
Thanks for having me, Rima. I really appreciate it. Have a
Love
great
you. Love you. Bye.
All right, bye.